I want to talk about why I got out of the Army. I bitch about it to a lot of my friends and stuff, but I think it's about time. Sooner or later, I need to verbalize it more and get it out there and hopefully connect with people that have the same opinion. I got out of the Army February 2nd, 2014. And it was fucking amazing. But the road, just ETS, was difficult. And looking back, I should have been kicked out. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to hide that fact. I got myself into a lot of shit, but I had, people that gave a fuck enough about me and my life situation not to have it be worse by getting kicked out. I'm not saying I did a whole bunch of illegal stuff like smuggled drugs or anything like that. No. I wasn't beating on women or anything crazy like that. I was just doing a lot of fucked up things that some of them are morally questionable. And looking back, I would have preferred not to do those things with the kind of person that I am today. However, it's those experiences that made me who I am now. There's a lot of different reasons. I can't even really list them specifically, right? But one of the key reasons why I ended up getting out of the Army was because of poisonous leadership. And I had this NCO, Sergeant First Class Morris, when I was in Korea. And it was my last year in the Army, stationed at CRC. And holy shit, man. I flirted with the idea of reenlisting, because I was scared. I didn't know what it was like to really be an adult in the civilian world because, let's face it, I joined when I was 18 straight out of high school. That's the entire world that I knew. It was a world I should never have been a part of because, I'm going to be honest, I'm not the type to be in the Army. Now, the Army really isn't as difficult as people think it is. And at the same time, it's a lot harder than it should be. Once again, because of shit leadership. I've had really good leadership in my platoon and stuff. I've had, Captain Gregory. Man, dude, that guy was fucking amazing. Really cool. He's actually, my favorite company commander was the one that gave me my Article 15. I know that sounds weird, but he was a guy, that he gave me my Article 15 because everyone knew, even I knew, and I couldn't run away from it, that I deserved it. And got, my pay taken away for so many months. I got demoted as well. And it took a long time to reach back up. And by the time I did, I just didn't care anymore. Another reason why I got out of the Army was because of... Oh, wait. Sorry, Morris. So my E7 in Korea, he, just being him, manipulative fucking scum of the earth, he's the one that convinced me not to re-enlist. Not by telling me not to re-enlist, but just by, holy shit, if I were to re-enlist, this is what I have to look forward to. I've already done this for 6 years with people like him. And he's the worst out of any of them that I've ever seen in my entire life. And I want to re-enlist for that? No, I wanted to re-enlist for security, for medical and stuff like that. Make sure I'm taken care of, make sure I can provide for my son. But then I really thought about it. And it's like, what quality of life will I be living if I am continually subjected as a slave to individuals like him? And then there's always that thought and idea. It's like, oh, well, then maybe one day you can become an NCO and you can change things and be the inspiration for the next generation. And it's like, come on, let's be fucking real, okay? Little ripples in big ponds only affect the small area around them. They don't really change anything, on the whole. You need lots of ripples all over the pond. Metaphors. But what I'm saying is I knew that if I led that future, I wouldn't be happy, especially if I had to deal with guys like him day in and day out. Now, I know not everyone is like that, but over time, I progressively saw my leadership get worse. And yes, there were those shining gems, but I guess Korea is just a place where careers go to die. You go to Korea and either, you ETS or you get kicked out. Another reason why I got out was because of my job. I was good at my job, but there is little to no recognition in my job. I was a cook. Yeah, thanks. It was very thankless. We bitched and moaned a lot, and there was times I really enjoyed being a cook, like when I deployed. Deployment isn't the best thing in the world, obviously, being away from home and all this stuff. Sometimes being away is exactly the medicine you need, depending on your life situation. So it was bittersweet. I was really glad to be around the people I was with, and I miss them every day. But once again, another reason to get out is I've met these people, we've come and gone, and I need some stability in my life. And I'm not going to lie, since I've gotten out, I've yet to make a single brand new civilian friend that I hang out with. Because my level of quality of human being that I want to hang out with are people I was with in the Army. It's weird how looking back, it's like I see these great things, but the things that were bad, it's like I'll never go back. Like, don't get me wrong, I've been out for as long as I have now, almost 2 years. And it's not easy being a fucking civilian, taking care of life and shit. I'm on my third car since I've been out here for various different fucking reasons. It's hell. It's life. It's not easy. But this new struggle that I'm facing now, this new civilian world, it's like 10 times better than the life I had when I was in the Army. I was homeless in the Army. Swear to God, not even kidding. I got people that can fucking vouch for that story. The whole family comes first motto in the Army is a fucking lie. And I got people in the Army now that will vouch for that. People that were like, their family isn't taken care of. I've got people that had gotten out of the Army because they needed to take care of their family. Now, the idea of being in the Army and taking care of your family is a very big thing, right? You're making these sacrifices and everything. But I was in limbo for a long period of time when I got custody of my son and I was living in New York. And what happened? Well, I was supposed to go to Korea at the time, and it was just this huge mess and all over the place. So what they told me to do at work was, well, you got to take care of your kid, but at the same time, you got orders to Korea, so you got to handle everything. And I remember being on the phone with the guys from Branch, and I was at this point where I didn't give a fuck no more. I guess I was talking to some E6 or something. And I'm like, look, I don't give a fuck. Like, I was cussing. Like, that's why I'm saying I should have got kicked out. Like, my insubordination was fucking insane. I gave no fucks, right? And the few people that I would give those fucks to were the NCOs that I respected. I remember there would be a couple times I'd mouth off at Sergeant Perez. He would put me in check in a heartbeat. And, he humanized me. And then he reminded me where I was and who I was talking to. So I had a lot of respect for that man, even though under his leadership, I gave him hell. And, it sucks that that's who I used to be. It's obviously not who I am now, but this new me, the one that's got a little bit thicker skin, the one that's a little bit more vocal, I have become this new me since I've been out because I'm not hindered by the bad leadership, this shitty job. Also, this whole equal opportunity doesn't really exist in the Army. It's a fabrication. I mean, obviously it's a fabrication in our entire society as in general, but in the Army, everything is so by statistics and numbers at a face glance. But then when you really get down into it, there's favoritism all over the place. It's horrendous. It's disgusting. I grew like an issue with women, especially women in the workplace that I worked with, because, I don't even know where to begin with that. The women I worked with, some of them were really competent, some of them were really knowledgeable, some of them were really good at their jobs. Other ones were just these fucking lazy pieces of dog shit, and I would not ever want to work with them ever again in my entire fucking life. And I'm serious when I say that, because now these were also the really good-looking girls, and they would be put into positions, right? Also, that's another thing. When I was in Korea, one thing that really irritated me, if you had experience and you came from a duty station, you deployed and all that, and you had basically proven yourself to be knowledgeable in your job, and you were in the Army long enough to know shit, they would throw you on shift. They would give you all the shit work. The brand new guys, instead of giving them the shit jobs to really kind of get used to, their MOS and being in the Army, they would put them in the privileged positions. And there's a reason for this, because they could rely on the people that have been around. So we're going to put them in the shit positions because they'll just handle the day-to-day. The brand new newcomers, we don't want to have to worry about training them. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put them in all the privileged positions so we don't have to fuck with them. We don't have to worry about them. And I always thought it was completely stupid and extremely unfair. I mean, hell, I remember I was probably the most vocal about that same fact about how come these people that have no real experience in the core of the MOS get put in privileged positions, areas that we're not even taught about our MOS in fucking AIT. Talking about rations, talking about fucking admin, luckily, thanks to one of my really good leaders, and I'm not saying that just because she put me in this position, but I had an E7 that ran our defect manager that saw everything I was going through and how hard I was working and how good I was at my job, and she let me go in R&U, which is all sorts of fucking crazy insanity. I mean, I've seen theft from leadership. I've seen extortion. I've seen blackmail. I've seen a lot of good. Seen a lot of bad. And when I look at the Army, I got to look at it like a corporation, right? I know it's not. It's different. No, you can't compare its apples. No. At the end of the day, you have a business and you have employees. The soldiers are essentially your employees. You have supervisors and managers within the company. You have your NCOs and your officers, right? So when you look at it from like a corporate standpoint and all of that stuff, I don't even know how the Army's still standing on a fucking leg. I mean, the way the day-to-day work is in there, I mean, you're doing all this senseless fucking monotonous shit. Now, there's a reason for a lot of it, and it makes perfect sense when you're doing all these layouts and stuff. But when it gets to the point you're doing all these needless layouts for no reason other than to kill time, and it's not really benefiting anybody, and instead of actually training, you're just training, doing whatever bullshit as filler time. It's just completely mindless and fucking stupid. I mean, that's why I liked being attached to an infantry unit, because they would train, and the cooks, we trained a lot. We did a lot of stuff. Hell, when we got back from deployment and after the first female left, no offense, and it was just males in our fucking platoon, it was fucking heaven, because it was like a completely different world of how we could interact and deal with one another. We actually, when my platoon and it fucking FCO was just guys, we got more work done. We got more time off. We got more shit done. Our training was 10 times more productive. Our leadership was far more understanding of our situations and our causes. I mean, there were some other factors that was going on in the rest of the company at the time, but for the most part, in-house, in our platoon, it was a fucking dream. And that's nothing against women. That's just how it was. My leadership had been in infantry units before, so that's what they were used to. And having to adhere to these new rules and deal with people in very specific ways, it's just a headache. Not saying that there aren't girls that are cool and they can be like one of the guys. From a leadership standpoint, things really change when you have to treat everyone as an individual and at the same time treat everyone the same. When it was just the guys, that was the same. It was just guys. You could, by treating everyone the same, you were treating them as what they were, fucking men, right? We could talk, we could bullshit, we could insult each other and know that we're just fucking joking. No one's whining, bitching, and complaining. Wow, I'm going off on a tangent. I miss it. I miss the people. I had some really good experiences, but I'm never going to fucking go back. Oh my God. And I mean it. I'm never going back. And I remember for fucking the night before Thanksgiving, this past one, an old friend of mine had got all heated and stuff. It's like, no, the Army, they control like everything in your life now. If they call you back, you got to go back. And it's like, I realized something like when I got out is that I really have control over my life. Now, of course, there's consequences, right? But let's face it and let's be real. I have control over my life. So if they were to call me back into the Army, I would just say no. And that's it. If they came and drugged me and forced me and whatever, it's like, all right, I'm here. I'm not doing anything. I'm not putting on that uniform. And what are they going to do? Just kick me out anyway? They're essentially just going to be wasting everyone's time, including my own. I mean, when you really think about it, I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can go in and out arguing this statement back and forth. But what I'm saying is at the end of the day is that we all have choices and all have consequences. That's something that we got to keep in mind. But what I never knew was my choice. I was like this drone, and I was tired of feeling like a fucking number. So when I got out and I realized that I am me, but the first time I felt like me was when I was out of the Army. And that's basically why I'll never go back. I appreciate my time spent, and I applaud the people that are still in, because you know why? I know it might work for them. It didn't work for me. Hell, I still feel bad for some of the people that are in, because people that were worse than me, people that shouldn't have been in the first place because they don't give a shit, they ain't about this life or whatever the fuck. The wrong people are in, the wrong people are becoming leaders, and standards are dropping. That's another reason I would never fucking go back. It's going downhill. Now, there's a lot of people that are still holding it up. Great, fantastic, bravo. But I just can't do it, man. My heart goes out to the fucking troops that are still active, and, vets everywhere. And, no matter why you joined or why you're still in or what job you chose, I mean, hell, it's you're doing something that's great for you. You're doing something that's great for your country. You're doing something that's great for your friends and family. And I fully support it, But me personally will never go back because it's fucking horseshit. But not everyone had to go through what I had to go through, and I didn't have to go through what everyone else had to go through. Everyone's experiences are their own. And from my perspective, just for me, fuck the Army. Not fuck the people in the Army. Think they're great, think they're doing a good job, except for the fucking poison-ass leadership in there. You guys are fucking scum of the earth. Fuck the Army, the corporate Army, the fucking paper pusher Army, the fucking needless regulations, the fucking pretend training, the long hours, the bullshit of the Army. That's what I'm saying, fuck you to. Not the amazing troops that are doing everything in their powers to make sure that I can be here right now, doing this. Not speaking Russian, German, Chinese, or etc. Anyway. Thoughts and opinions, fuck yous, anything, comment section down below. It's Maze Valor, signing off.